Oh, look at this guy, the one ball juggler. How you doing?
One of those weeks. How you doing?
Yeah. Hey man, I'm doing well. Went and got the hair trimmed up, got the beard taken
Nice.
care of, squared it off. Got it all taken care of. So treat myself to a little barbershop activity here. Yeah, yeah,
Nice.
not so
Nice.
shabby. It's a
Maybe
little taking care of myself in May. It's what
oh,
you got to do. What you got to do.
have to. So I'm only juggling one ball. Trying to juggle more it just adds to the stress level. So
Don't want to do that.
no,
Not
little
right
little
now.
little stress ball action.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the funny thing is, I get home, do this. I'm driving home. I'm thinking of all the corny jokes I can say when I get home because that's what dads do. And, I get in, and my oldest daughter, she's home from college, and my wife are sitting there, and they look at it, and maybe, oh, let's see the back. And I'm like, is the front not good enough? You gotta see the back. Like, what's this whole deal? And then my daughter's like, do you remember during shutdown when your hair was really long? You look like you were in the mafia. I was doing like the soprano thing and slicking it back, and I'm like, "Where are you going with this, girl? Like, you want me to go long again?" And they started
Yeah.
talking about man buns and the whole deal. I'm like, and then they're like, "But you got to keep the beard, but grow the hair long, put it in a bun." I'm like, I don't know.
So
That can be kind of scary.
now you're kind
So
of
we'll
witness
see.
protection, but she wants you to go back to the mob look.
Yeah, just not the Harrison Ford type. It's a little. We're not going Amish on this one. So, yeah, me and Jebediah aren't going to hang out. But yeah, I tell you, and did you? So I get really geeked out over it. I'm shocked at how few people knew that the social media teams for the NFL teams, like they get really serious about the schedule release. Did you see did you get a chance to see the Steelers schedule release for the 2024?
No,
No.
no, I did not. I did not check out the social media on that.
Let's see if I can find it here. Nothing like trying to live search stuff when you got a pod rolling here.
That's okay.
Although I know you've made a lot of jokes about, oh yeah, this just screams of, they're going to be undefeated and this and that. They got a tough schedule.
Oh, it gets brutal, but then there's a couple teams. I think Cincinnati doesn't play a division game till about a week before us. Um, our schedule, as things look right now, is backloaded. We have some tough teams in the beginning, but based on last year's finishes and last year's records, the Steelers have a lot of the toughest teams at the back end of the schedule. So, but who
Okay.
knows? Because once you never know who's going to make the team, who's going to get hurt. Once that happens, everything changes. So we shall see. That's the scary part. The Steelers a lot of times lose to teams they should beat, and then beat teams they should lose to. So could
Yeah,
start
everybody
slow
has
and end up
those.
coming back strong.
Yeah. Yeah, you just never know. Well, here's what I'll do instead. I don't know if we're in danger of this being taken down. Give me a second here. But all NFL teams put out. All right, all different NFL teams put out schedule releases. Now here's the thing. Can
It's
I?
almost like diss tracks, I think, on some of them that they post and they kind of dig at each other.
All right, audio. Yeah. So they're. I mean, and some of the stuff. Let me tell you. So they're talking about all of these things here, and
Yes.
No.
Yes, I do.
No idea.
No.
they're asking them if they know about the
Do you
schedule
enjoy
releases.
Sometimes.
And then let's see. So this is the Chargers. So they chose to do the Sims. So there you got the podcast, the Kelsey brothers, the New Heights podcast, and introducing that they're playing the Chiefs on a certain date. This, my daughter had to tell me, was a TikTok trend where you call somebody and you don't say anything. And now it's tough to see, but on the bottom corner, right there you go. You got different players. It's the Cowboys. They got the Cowboy mascot. Post Malone is there, and a couple of them, Jerry Jones is there, and they're calling these different like celebrities and just staring at them. And the one funny one is at the end they call somebody, the person hangs up, and it was Post Malone's like dad, and like everybody else answered but his father. So they got those. They got guys doing paintings. This is hilarious. So the Eagles did psychiatric evaluations of their fans. So like Warwick test, what is Santa Claus? What does Santa Claus think of the different characters? I thought a really fun one. Oh, supposedly these guys are like supposedly some kind of TikTok group. These comedians.
Okay. Do one that's coming.
And my daughters were fired up to see that one on there. Miami, they did one where they're like the fastest team in the NFL. So like Tyreek Hill was typing really fast, and then when the roster showed it went so fast you couldn't see it. And being a Steelers fan, one of my favorites, one that I thought was really good. Do you remember the Ravens game where during the second quarter, Lamar Jackson leaves the field because he had to use the restroom?
Yes.
So the Browns were doing one, and they were bowling, and they showed a bowling pin with a Lamar Jackson jersey, and it was like moving down looked like the hall, and it had like toilet paper stuck to the tail end of the pin to make fun of that moment. Like, it's hilarious. So like, supposedly the social media teams are given like 24 hours. The team's given the schedule before they release it to the public. Yeah. So it's 24 hours to create it. So, I mean, last year the Chargers did some kind of like anime kind of a thing. And like, it was just, real funky. Like, so definitely some interesting ones. But I was just shocked with how many fans weren't aware that the NFL does this. And I didn't see the Steelers specifically. I was trying to look that up for you. The Ravens, like one of their fans, they gave him like the company card, and he had to get like the schedule to like New York, and he's buying all sorts of stuff, but he's like walking downtown Baltimore. Like he's going to like sub shops and like he's buying like grill and tattoo and just, I'm just trying to even like do a quick scan. Oh, so Kansas City being like the team that's under pressure, I guess. So they did a hydraulic press, and they just basically smashed a representation of every team. So there's a Buccaneer ship, and it's being smashed in a hydraulic press. The Broncos kind of get smashed here. And I was like, it was on the heels of Apple getting kind of like, being told that there was someone, smashing the table at the Buffalo Bills, where Jason Kelsey wanted to do a dive on. Yeah. This was let me see if I can get to that one where they show the Lamar Jackson bowling pin. Maybe not. They're just showing a couple clips there, but you'll have to watch it. But it's them. It's just the different athletes doing it. But I get it. I get it. I think that's hilarious. Like I said, talking to all the buddies in school, again, just showing, getting a, just lightening the mood of everything, and that's kind of like, what were we talking about? And, one kid in my class, he's a Bills fan, so he always loves to remind me about the Bills. And they did like a Parks and Rec thing where Josh Allen was living in a construction site right outside the stadium. Like, just interesting. So, yeah, just some fun stuff.
I'm kind of staying low key about it because if my daughter finds out I will be spending Christmas Day and Christmas Eve in Pittsburgh.
Oh, really?
On Tay-Tay alert. Because Chiefs play Christmas Day.
That was going to be my guess. That was going to be my guess.
Chiefs play Christmas Day in Pittsburgh.
Oh, man.
So.
Look out.
Probably see Missy Halcott. Say hi to her.
Yeah. She'll be waving her Tay-Tay, terrible towel. All right. Okay. You just never know.
If we got her, that would be your math person. It wouldn't be T squared be T to the fourth. If we got Kelsey.
That would be. There you go.
Tay-Tay.
All right, man. Well, listen, we're all about talking about, showing those videos at school, sharing them with colleagues, lightening the mood. And you know what? There's a lot to talk about. It's the month of May. We got steamy weather today. We've had like all last week was rain, steamy this today. How's the weather like in Pittsburgh?
It is muggy. It's not bad when the sun goes behind the clouds, but when the sun comes out from behind the clouds, you start baking. As the who was it? I think it was the B-52s, baking like potatoes, baking in the sun, rock lobster. I think that is the quote. I've been listening to a lot of different music lately. Going through the decades with the students, playing some music. Even the teachers come in like, I've never heard that song before. Who sings that? I'm like, Well, let me tell you.
It just so happens. That's funny. Yeah. Well, and I expect to get, some social media messages from all of our dog walking friends who are listening to the podcast while taking care of their four-legged, family members, and shoot us a message. Let us know how the weather is in your neck of the woods. But, you're here, I'm here, and I think it's the third Tuesday. Am I right?
Yes, it is. It's an odd third Tuesday because we started the month on a
is.
Wednesday. Throws everything off.
Throws it all off. But you know what? I think it's time for
The PAECT pod.
let's roll it. Welcome to the PACT Pod, a show for educators by educators. PACT is a 100% run organization that focuses on educational technology uses in the classroom in Pennsylvania
and beyond.
My name is Eric Verno, and I am the president of PACT. And with me tonight, my co-host, as always,
Dom Salvucci, and the vice president of PACT.
All right, and today, you know what? It's just a timely thing. Sometimes we get together and plan ahead of time. Sometimes we don't plan till later. I'm sitting in my plan period at school today, and I'm like thinking. I'm like, oh, okay, we got the show. What can we do? And I'm like, so this is episode 53, going from surviving to thriving in May. The goal is to be very positive show today. What do you think about that, Dom?
I think it's much needed.
Yep.
When that came across Slack, I was like, yes. We're at the tail end. We have this week, and we only have a couple days next week in my district. We have Step Up Day Tuesday after the holiday, Memorial Day. One full day with the kids. Kids come in. By the time all the elementary kids, as I stumble over my words, my elementary kids get dropped off. The buses come pick up the high school kids, and they're done. Then we have an in-service day on Friday. So This is it. This is our last day of classes with the kids, or last week.
Jeez, nice. Yeah, we got, let's see, around here next week, some of the schools end. My daughter graduates on the 31st. We go till the kids about June 4th. We go to the 6th. So a lot of different things happening there. Oh, somebody's calling to let you know, yep. Dom, you got to show up to school a little longer. All right. But yeah, so, we got a lot of different things going on there. But yeah, the end is near. But, one of the things we're going to talk about tonight is, thriving in May, doing what we do. It's a choice. It's an active choice,
Yeah, I agree. And it's very easy to get caught in a rut.
Yeah.
Especially with the way the weather's been. Talking with people, even people who aren't educators. Ariana plays softball. Talking with the coaches. We had a field day up at the field trying to get the field ready, but it's been raining all the time. People's homes can't cut grass, can't get gardens in. Then when it's nice, you have other activities going on, but you're still cooped up inside other days when you have free time. It's been rough on everybody. So you have to try and make time. You got cleaned up today.
Yeah.
Kids are kind of making fun of me because I was kidding around in school with, we were doing the 60s, and I was looking at this, a lot of you guys, and none of my students, very few of my students have very long hair. I'm like, you guys would be considered bloody hippies, to steal a British term. This is with your hair. So there's a couple of you that, you might be considered good, clean cut gentlemen back in the day. Some of you are pushing Beatlesque or longer hairstyles. And then one of the kids today, because I'm getting a little curly on top. She's like, Mr. Sauer, are you going to the hippie side? I'm like, it took me a second. And they registered, like, yeah, not yet. I got another week. I'll get a haircut at the end of the school year.
That's funny. Yeah.
But yeah, you have to, you got to make time to kind of decompress and keep things, I don't know, balanced, I guess would be the term.
Yeah, and I know I've shared this before in the pod. Having that conversation with the kids a couple weeks ago, when we were rolling over into our we got trimesters. I kind of go through and I show them the graph. I'm like, listen, you guys come in and you're on a high, and then you kind of get complacent, you get comfortable, and then there's that dip. It used to be first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. So now I just stretch it out over the try, and I'm like in that third try, you're still on that like little bit of that repeat, that rebounding from that, like you got a little lax. And I said, and now you're at a point where, again, when we're like looking down the barrel of May, and it's like, how you are in the class, how you act affects how I am, how I react. If I can trust you doing some more stuff, we're going to do some more stuff. If I have to reel it in, I reel it in. And I tell him, I go, there's a lot of different thoughts you can have about what, you might think of a teacher from years past. Oh, they were a grumpy teacher. But if you just like think about what the room was like, what the atmosphere was like what role did you play in that atmosphere? And just being honest with him, I'm like, listen, it's beautiful. This was before the rain. It's gorgeous outside. It's sunny. Your teachers want to be out there, just like you guys want to be out there. But this is our job. We have to be here. There's still things we got to get done, and we can have fun and do it, or we can make sure we get through it. So, but yeah, just like having those honest conversations and everything, and the way it is. But we're definitely at that point where, and I told him it's an active choice. We're at that point now, with you in that last week, us with 2 weeks to go, surviving. You had Keystones, my daughter's going through Keystones at the high school. We got, last week was chorus concert. This week was band concert. We got a county string festival that practices during the day. We've got field day. We've got fun day. We've got, clap out. Our 6th grade gets clapped out of the whole building. There's a lot of activity, and it's great stuff, but it throws the schedules off, and it's maneuvering, carefully through that.
There's one thing you also have to realize. Some kids aren't looking forward to summer. Schools are safe space.
Yeah.
So now they're going to, away from their comfort area, and you don't know, they're not sure what they're going to have to deal with for the next couple months. We forget about that.
Sure. That's a great point to bring up. It really is,
And because I had a couple, we've been talking. I got one of my former students owns. I think I brought this up in the last episode. A restaurant bar, and I got the high top tables and I got some lower tables. I've been adjusting seating. Our guidance counselor was getting rid of an exercise ball chair, so I grabbed that, and I have some cushions, mats for kids to sit on if they want to sit in the hall, do ed puzzles or play the review games. If they want to sit out in the hall or sit around the room, have cushions to sit on, those rubber mats. And the one kid yesterday, he's like, "Mr. Sal, can I sit on the exercise ball chair?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's sitting there and he starts bouncing around, and I'm like, "Don't do it again." And he's like, "Well," I says, "No." I says, "Enough." So I'm like, "You're allowed to sit on it, but it's not a toy." 10th graders. He's sitting back there, and I start doing something. Someone asks a question. I turn, and out of the corner of my eye, I see him. He's bouncing, and his friends are giggling. And I'm like, "What did I said, "What did I say?" I'm like, "You were." So today he's like, "Can I have the chair?" I says, "No." I said, "I took it off you yesterday. You don't get it today." But I was you. So when I turned my head and, Jimmy asked the question, you didn't. He's, "Yeah, I did, but I was just kidding." I'm like, "Behave today. You get the chair again tomorrow."
Yeah.
And he's like, funny. "Okay."
Yeah.
I'm like, "I get it." Like, but it's
sure. Yeah. We were all there. We know exactly what it's like. You and I, Dom, would be those guys on the bouncy balls.
Yes.
When the teacher wasn't looking, we'd be working on outdoing each other for height. Let's just be honest, right? We'd be like, "Oh, I touched that spot. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Oh wait, they're looking.
Yeah.
All right, the other way." Like,
I came up. One of my students they were doing something, doing a reading yesterday, and I come up behind him, and he had a video on his phone, a anime video. I'm like, "What is that?" He turned it off real quick. I was just listening to music. I'm like, "It looked interesting." So I'm not like being a jerk about it. What was it? And I don't know the title. I'm like, "Oh, come on." It was a TikTok. I'm like, it wasn't a TikTok. So today they're doing their ed puzzle. He finished and he had it on his phone. Like, "So you're watching this again. How did you find it if you don't know the name of it?" And he told me it was this, some kind of ninja anime series. I'm like, "That looks pretty cool." Like,
yeah.
Over the summer, I may check out some different things because it's summertime, like decompress. You're gonna have rainy days, and they don't understand. It's like, it's the end of the year. I always tell the kids, I'll be very honest with you. If you're goofing around in class and you're failing, I'm going to be angry with you because do your work first. I give you time to decompress. And if you get your work done, you have free time at the end of class, work on stuff. I said, there will be times if you goof around and you have an A, that's on me. I still may get angry at times depending on my mood and what's going on. I may be grumpy at times because I'm old. I said, but that's on me. I said, but if you're goofing around, have a good grade. There's no reason for you to be failing. This is do your work first. I was in high school. We didn't have tabs and computer screens and windows. I had about 10, 15 pages back in my notebook. It's where I doodled, I wrote, drew pictures. Teacher was walking around, flip it to where I'm supposed to be in my notebook. Passing notes over the kid behind me who would turn in the note, knew how to flip it over his head so my friend would get it and he couldn't. I did those things. I know how to do them. So it's like, it's expected. It's school.
The paper airplane or not paper airplane when they're not looking, or the football.
Oh, the football.
Oh, set the field goal up. Oh yeah.
How far can you kick the field goal across the room without getting caught?
Oh yeah, all that. So, and I think and the other thing too is like, driving into school, getting ready, preparing, but choosing that positive mindset. Like we got to go in there positively. Do what you do. Put whether it's some kind of little like calming meditation podcast, whether it's going through daily devotions on your drive in, whatever the case may be, whether it's just those couple songs that really just get you tapping as you're driving, whatever it is, just taking that time on that drive in, enjoying it. Again, it's a decision, it's a choice we have to make. So our tech notes today are focusing on some of those things we're doing in our classroom. We kind of talked a little bit about them. And all of you watching live, we got several people on Twitter X. We got some people on YouTube and Facebook. Put in some things. What are you doing during this time? What's some of your go-tos? What are you pulling out of your toolbox of EdTech tools, or whatever the case may be? What is it that you're doing to help yourself and your students thrive during this time in May? So I think we'll kick off with you, Dom, with our tech notes. So let's hit that transition. Here we go. All right, I cut you off there. All right, here we go.
I am going to talk about Common Sense Media, commonsense.org, Common Sense Media. It is a great website. I don't use this at the end of the year. I use it throughout the year, and I run ideas when kids talk about different things. When TikTok first came out, I didn't know what it was. And kids were like, hey, will you do this, this video thing with me? And I'm like, what is it? And I went here. It's my go-to. I go to Common Sense Media, look things up. If I'm not familiar with it, especially if I'm not familiar with it, I usually figure if I'm not familiar with it, most of the people I work with aren't. Not trying to sound arrogant or anything, but there's a couple teachers who are on cutting edge and they have kids who are older and into all this stuff. But a lot of us, we don't get into the cutting edge of non-educational apps. So I go to Common Sense, look things up, and then, say, okay, I kind of get, this isn't a bad thing. I'll do it. But it's a great website that has all kinds of free information. Common Sense Media goes over television, social media, apps, all kinds of stuff like that you can go through. Digital citizenship programs, family engagement programs, and has good digital citizenship curriculum, things to look at. It's a great resource for parents, educators, and gives you the website, everything that they do and how they work. Now, from the end of the year, my bag of tricks, I've been going on grabbing images. I try and set my class up more and more this year, even before the end of the year, with GIFs that either related to the content of the class, because we use Schoology. So GIFs that either relate to the content that we're going to cover, or with the weather outside being so frightful for the longest time with rain and constant rain, pulling up GIFs, making my own about the rain, finding songs on Spotify, since we are on the Spotify platform. To throw props out to our host platform for the audio and live stream podcast. Songs about the weather that go along with things. And then today, we've been doing a lot of doo-wop because we did the 50s, got into rock and roll. And then I switched over because we went into the late 60s. I hit them with some of the protest songs. And then yesterday I hit Paul Hardcastle, 19. We were talking about Vietnam and the average age. And it was a great video with the details popping up and the facts about it. Like the average age of the soldiers in Vietnam was 19 and talked about different things. So I try and hit the music with the kids, besides playing the albums that I bring in from the different eras. But I'll hit the Spotify playlists with different stuff, protest music or the different eras if I don't have a good album or school appropriate album, because some of the albums of the 70s and 80s have some inappropriate stuff on them. You get into the hard rock and stuff. You get the deep cuts on the album. Like, oh, that's not really able to be played on the radio without editing it. So you can't play the album in class. Right. But going over stuff like that. And we've been doing ed puzzles and just some fun games. Like we'll do Kahoots. I have a bunch of Kahoots, just to get the kids active. Disney movies, action movies, the Marvel Cinematic Universe Kahoots and things like that. Even like booklets and stuff on just pop culture. It fits in with my curriculum because I teach history. I teach the modern era. But just to break things up, like, the kids with history, everything doesn't have to be a war. Everything doesn't have to be politics. The culture of the times is also part of history and the historical record. So I can make that fit in my curriculum within the official framework, air quotes around it, where, other people kind of have to do a little more of a song and dance depending on your administrators. Why are you playing a Disney Kahoot, or why are you doing Disney? Kids need a break. Some people are okay with that. Some people aren't. But with me, I can say pop culture. We're studying pop culture of this era or that era. So,
yeah.
But, go through Common Sense Media, the different games and such that we use. I have the decompressed games and I have the, cultural games, bounce things back and forth. But I'm going to pull this back down.
Yeah.
So it's a good go to commonsense.org for looking things up. But I use, the old bag of tricks that I have. And I just have melded them for the end of the year. Like, we'll do fun stuff. We'll do some reviews, mix things in. And, sometimes even just do writing. Like I have a half personal day on Friday. So I think that's probably going to be my last graded assignment. I'll pick a topic that we've covered recently. Tell me about it. Use your notes. Give me 5 things you liked about class. Tell me why. 5 things you would change or improve. Tell me why or how you would do that. And it's an open writing. Like you have all period. I'll be there in the morning for a couple classes. Then I leave. Those kids right now don't have a sub. They'll be in study hall. They can do that. And I take that feedback and I use it because they're the ones that take the class. I know what I like, but not what I like isn't necessarily what they like. So, there's sometimes you come out of a lesson, you're like, oh, this was just not going well. And you have to fix it. But then sometimes there's things you think go well.
Yeah.
And they didn't like it, or maybe you thought it didn't go so well, but they enjoyed it. So it's good to get that feedback from them. So I'll use that and I'll tinker with that over the summer. Get one last grading for the kids that needed a little boost on the grade. Kids that don't need a boost, it's not going to hurt them because it's an easy, they can do that just by applying themselves and putting in some effort. They're going to get full credit. So it helps the kids that need help. Kids that don't need the help, as long as they try, it's not going to hurt their grade. So
yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I mean, I love that high engaging the activities. Even pre-show you were talking a little bit about even some of those kids that might need some points that really help them. Like they're on the cusp. They're at that 79, that 80. They're at that 89 for the 90, and they've got that worry. I got to get that grade. I got to grade. So you're given some things where they can achieve some points. You talked about some other teachers that might be doing some things that are causing kids to kind of like the bottoms to drop out and just overwhelm feelings and stress. Like, you're giving them some cool stuff that's high interest. I like that. You mentioned, and I was doing some other things, while we're doing this. Did you mention the ed puzzles?
Yeah. Mention the ed puzzles. And like my one colleague, she's doing, just because we don't have a public speaking class, as you could tell,
At least
in our school. But so she was just doing impromptu, got the wheelofnames.com, put the kids' names in there and just spinning the wheel on the big board in front. 2 people, then has a wheel with topics, pick topics, decide who wants what, prep, and you debate. And some kids stressed out and they're just like, I can't do this. And they're allowed to have a helper. They get points. If you win, you get bonus points. But if you participate, you get points. And it's just to get the kids speaking. It's something fun. And they're interesting topics like, chocolate milk versus whole milk, McDonald's versus Burger King, or none of those companies actually are sponsoring us. But if they would like to sponsor us, please reach out. pod@pact.org. And just different topics, rap versus metal or things like that. Just, Marvel versus DC, which of course is going to be Marvel, but you just
there goes half our viewers.
Oh, those are the big beginning of the year. I get the kids, Hogwarts versus Lord of the Rings, Middle Earth, and Marvel versus DC gets the kids all in an uproar because we do that. How do you tell me about yourself type deal. Yeah, and we get them all riled up and get them talking. I like both.
That's funny. Yeah, that's cool.
So,
all right, good stuff. Yeah,
but
I like
definitely check with your colleagues, see what they're doing, coordinate with them, and the more minds, the better. Usually.
Yeah, usually. All right, good stuff. So that's Dom's Tech Notes. Here we go. All right, so a couple things. I think I did mention this before. Just the blanket statement for my situation with the students I have, because it's not always every single group same way, but there's just this thing where consistency. Anytime I do too much of a change in schedule without prepping them, without getting them prepared for it, that can really throw some of the kids off in the room. So I just try to make sure what I'm doing falls in the realm. We do rotation model in the math classroom and our language arts classrooms. So like sticking with that concept, mixing in some of those different things, right? Science lab, I teach math and science. We're doing labs, we're doing different things. So we're keeping with that tone. So one of the things that I try to pull in at different times, and now again, you got those kids that, they need some of those points. We're not necessarily breaking out tests and quizzes. Pixel art. So the thing about pixel art is I can't figure out creating it, but I don't have to. There is a community. So we have pixel art community here, or pixel art on Facebook. You literally just type in pixel art, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's the Pixel Art Mysteries in Education, which is the page I'm on for math and science. You can pull up for different things, type in the subject you're teaching, but looking here, people are giving you. So in the end, if everybody does the proper thing with decomposing tens, here's the picture that's going to form. You delete the answers that are in the colors and it goes white. As they fill in the answers, it's creating a picture. It's auto correcting it. The pictures are fun. It's entertaining. You're able to push it out. A lot of these are all done with Google Sheets. Some of them are Excel spreadsheets. You're able to kick it out to kids on any, LMS platform you're using, and the kids are able to kind of work on it. So during our rotations, I might do this during collaboration. So Dom and Eric are working together. We both pull it up on our screen. You and I are working together. Oh, hey, 10 is 10 plus 0. Okay, 10 plus 0. All right, and you gave me that answer. Oh, hey, what about 11? Well, 10 plus 1 because we're doing tens. Boom, and we work our way through. So we're there, we're collaborating, we're working together, low stress, automatically
Yeah.
checking what we're doing. So, sometimes I'll give these just a completion grade. You turn it in, you got 5 points, 4 points, 3 points kind of a thing. It's not an I got you. It's a good review. It's fun. There's different pictures, it looks kind of like, kind of like us. I got a gnome that one of my students gave me, said it looked like me, kind of a similar beard to that. There's all sorts of things. People will come in here and say, hey, I'd love the Angry Birds shaped 3D adventure. And then people will go and make it for them. I mean, it's such a cool community. They're doing some difference product quotient. And then here's the picture that's going to pop up. I mean, honestly, like I said, the bottom line is I can't do this on my own. People are putting this out there. It deals with the formatting and different things in the cells. But once they get going, it's just, going and you pull them off, create a folder. So these are kind of like go-tos that you have. So again, it's a fun thing that the kids do. I keep it within my rotations in the classroom, reviewing some concepts. I'm looking for some interesting pictures. One of the coolest ones that I do at the beginning of the year, it's a back, it came out when hydro flasks were all very popular. And when the kids get the right answer, it's a math fact one, stickers show up on the hydro flask and they look, I don't know how the person did it. They look amazing. It's like the stickers kids are putting on their Stanleys or their hydro flasks, whatever the case may be. And so these are really cool to have. Again, I might do 1 or 2 a month, but usually at the end I'll put out like 2 or 3, give those kids that option. We're still in the routine. We're just doing something that's, very just low end on the difficulty level. Again, it's review and they're having fun doing it. So that's just kind of how I've taken it. So pixel art, mysteries and education, pixel art community is amazing. If you have different things that you're doing and you're interested, let's see if I can find, that's a funky elephant there. Pulling up. So like people will say, I have this picture. Can you turn it into a pixel art? A lot of really cool stuff here. So again, who doesn't love good old Snoopy? All right, there you go. Flamingo. That's totally that's right yours. That's yours, Dom, right there. It should be you in the flamingo shirt. That's what they should have. There's what it should be. Good stuff. So, but there's a lot of cool stuff here. They'll do it. Summer's coming. Here's a great little one. Get excited. All right. So again, check it out. Can't speak more positively about pixel art. So, and as we know, I love Minecraft EDU. I get to travel, do a lot of trainings on it. Talk about a great way to get kids excited. And this would be more like an independent station. All right. You pull up Minecraft EDU. If you want something specific, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. We have a homeowners association project the kids do work on. So they all have like a day 1 build, day 2 build, day 3 build. Now they're working on building their house at the end. They do screenshots. They fill in a Google slide. On the last one, I show them how they do a screen capture. So they're flying and going in and giving me a tour of their house, So that's like kind of like on your higher level. If you're comfortable with doing the program, you're comfortable with screen captures, you got that geeky side. But if you're not, and you're like, okay, we have access to this with our licensing through Microsoft at our school, you can go in here. You can look at their subject kits. Again, now next week in my science class, we touch on chemical building blocks. So in here, there's an awesome one in science, and it's chemistry. And it's the chemistry tutorial. The kids have to go through and they use the chemical, they pull in the different things. And what's cool is they got a description of it, kind of like a mini little lesson plan. You can assign it, kick it out to the kids. And in this chemistry tutorial, they're walking through and the characters are giving them chemical formulas. You need 2 carbons. You need 2 nitrogen. And they're putting it together. Sodium acetate they put together. They make ice. They hold it. It's an ice ball. When they throw it on water, it freezes it. So the kids it's just that intro unit. We're talking about how you pull the different things together for what's a chemical formula. 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen makes water. Like, talking about that. But now we're talking about it, and I'm having them go through. And if they freeze the water, they screenshot it, and I count that as, oh, hey, good job, 3 points on that. So pulling in Minecraft, there's a lot of ways that are already built in here. You can build your own. And then what's really cool is, so subject kits are right here. And then the monthly build challenges. they're always putting out new build challenges. So New York City schools, 2024 schools reinventing. You got accessibility park, how to use your agent. I use this in my math class, area and volume, just a little simple review where the kids, just go through and they got to give me the answers to a couple things. So a lot of cool things here if your school has access to it. And like I said, so it's just a neat way that I'm still in my routine. I've not thrown any curveballs. I've just added this into the mix. So that's just what really works for my kids this year, is maintaining that routine as much as possible. I really feel like that's paid off big for me.
That's cool. So I have, as I stumble over my words again, Stick Together I use. Z Poerio, that showed me that at one of our regional meetings, and I have that up attached to my blog, mrsal.edublogs.org, and I run that as enrichment. Sometimes I'll pull that up, and if we finish assessment day, and I'll put that up on the big screen TV, and you'd be surprised, the kids, like, some will sit back at their desk and go to the link. I'll put that in Schoology, and they'll sit at their desk and they'll play it, by themselves. But some of the kids, you'd be surprised, come up and they want to play on the big screen, and they'll sit there and they'll color. You don't have to answer questions, but it's just, you get lost in it. Like the adult coloring books. It's kind of, the color by numbers. I think we've talked Stick Together before here.
Yeah,
but
love it.
Yeah, this is neat.
Good
Both
stuff.
the pixel art and the Minecraft.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, now's the time where we kind of go through and we're going to highlight some of our things that are happening in PAECT. Let me get my screens all adjusted here. All right. So we're going to be looking at. All right. So putting this up on the screen here. Let's go ahead and show this. All right. Let's kick into our website here. Let me beef this up a little so we can see it. All right. All right. Don't mind my dark menu here. All right. Let's get rid of that. All right. So looking at the month of May, starting off with our calendar, we've got all sorts of great things. So getting started with gamification, remake learning did already happen. Our Teachers First programs are going. Make your teaching pop with Canva. Dom and I were, we were very happy to be with all of our people listening to the pod, but boy, we missed a really cool teaching, make your teaching pop with Canva. We'll be talking about them in a little bit, but definitely a good idea there. All right. So tonight, Teaching First. Okay. So you're using Fig Jam. So working on that with our Teachers First. We got Remake Learning Day Reflections on the 23rd. And then just talking about Glows and Grows in June, Thriving Through the 5 book study. So a new book study is going to be starting. Southeast PACT is going to Lego Discovery Center on June 7th. And then we have our board meeting weekend. So that's some cool stuff happening there. And let's kick into our glide show. All right, May. So again, Remake Learning, they got the Remake Learning Day Reflection. Let's see if there's anything else in June. Nope. So, July, PACT at Knoebels. The Vernos will be there, or B Square.
I'm going to try and make that.
Knoebels is a good time had by all. Most
I've
definitely.
never been there.
Wow. Yeah, I tell you, back in early days, not that we're living high on the hog financially as the days go, but when we had 3 kids in diapers and, trying to, what can we do for fun? You don't pay for parking. You don't pay to get in, and you only pay for what you want to do. It was a great experience. And my kids love, we'll go 5, 6, 7 times throughout the summer,
That sounds like, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish up. Go ahead.
That sounds like Waldameer for us. Waldameer's up in Erie. And from where I'm at, it's an hour and 15-minute, hour and a half drive tops. No cover to get in, pay as you go, or you can get a pass, and the passes are not expensive. In fact, the one year we got season passes because we were up there enough. It wasn't real expensive.
Okay.
They do on holidays. You have to pay to get in because they had some trouble. Years back, kind of like, Kennywood, you have to pay to get in, even if you want to walk around. Waldameer, no. So
Okay.
you just go in, cruise around, hang out. Beautiful little park.
Gotcha. Hey, I had to do a little Stanley support there, opening up my Stanley Cup for my daughter. All right, very nice. Okay. All right. It's a Stanley guest appearance. My daughter did not guest appear on the pod. All right.
Now,
So,
I am going to throw an extra shout out for the Glows and Grows.
yeah.
June 1st. I will be there. Don't let that keep you away.
Uh,
Southwest
we'll,
region.
will Dom have stickers? Make sure you have stickers. Theft deterrent devices. A lot of people try to steal their devices in the summer months, so make sure they have some stickers. There it is.
Oh, wait, we're going to
Loud and
rotate
proud.
it the right way.
Oh yeah, looking good. All right, very good. All right, I don't have a transition slide for our because we just started doing tech news, so we'll have to work on that one. All right, so we're gonna kick off with tech news. Dom, why don't you kick off our tech news segment? What is happening in the tech industry right now, sir?
Well, I am going to go with the iOS 17.5.1 update. I always go to Forbes. You have the free articles, Forbes.com. I always type in iOS update, whatever it is, Forbes.com, should I update? And I Google search that. There's a couple writers on Forbes. They give you the inside scoop on the updates. Is it something you need to do? Is it something that could wait? And I kind of read and double check because sometimes when you update your phone right away, I know you're going to deny this because your phone is perfect. However, sometimes for some people, when they update their phone immediately, there's glitches in the software and it'll make your phone do something weird. But if it's a security threat, they let you know. Like they said, we don't know exactly what the security threat is, but you need to. Sometimes they'll say this is just fixing some neat things. It'll give you some neat toys. But if you don't care about the neat toys, wait a while. We don't know if there's any bugs yet. Give it a week or so. And I follow along with those articles. Well, 17.5 came out, and I believe there was an emergency safety patch to put into it. So I uploaded, and then word came out that people's photos that they deleted years ago from their Apple accounts were popping back up. And you have the bad haircuts popping back up. For the younger single people, there might be an ex that they don't want reminded of popping up.
Yeah,
but
don't want that.
So I didn't have any bad haircuts. I have enough. Well, my wife's an excellent hairdresser. I don't have bad haircuts since she's been cutting my hair. When I cut my own hair, we just let it grow out.
Yeah. Flowbee's not what it used to be.
No. Working in the mirror, turn the clippers the wrong way, and
Yep.
those things happen.
Yeah.
But I didn't have that issue, but some people were reporting that photos were popping up, and it was killing space because I guess what happens, the photos weren't really deleted. They were just being disconnected from somewhere in the phone, and they would get overwritten if the space was needed. But if they weren't overwritten, there was somehow or another was a connection that was reconnected and the photos appeared again. So they pushed out 17.5.1 that takes care of the rare issue where photos that experienced database corruption could reappear in the photos library even if they were deleted. And I didn't have that issue, but then again, I didn't scroll through all the photos on my camera, so I'm like, patch it.
Sure.
Yeah. And this one didn't take too long. They're expecting iOS 18 to come out rather soon, and there's going to be some neat updates on that. But unless there's a security fix, I'll wait about a week or so, see if there's any issues. Because I'll be honest, I don't use all the bells and whistles that my phone is capable of doing.
Yeah, none of us do. Yeah, I mean, listen, when I was on the Apple, the iOS train, I was on the betas and all that jazz, and the difference between any iPhone and any other phone, they still have that power. When they push the button, it happens. Whereas, the update will come out. I got to wait for T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, whomever you have,
Yeah.
for them to officially push out because they want to do whatever they can. I really don't think they don't do anything to it. They just wait and push it out, when they want to. So
Yeah.
yeah, very good. All right, that's good tech news. Good points to bring up. So I'm going to go on the geekier side with the 3 items for tech news. So let's see here. First item, again, we love Canva. So we got Canva Create. Now, bad news, Dom. In-person tickets are sold out, buddy. You didn't get one, did you? You didn't. I don't even know. Oh, it says Hollywood Park, LA. Okay, so you were going to be in LA, but you can't go in person now. But don't worry. The virtual, they still have online free tickets for you to get.
Nice.
So I know several of our PACT board members are signed up, geeking out, ready to hear about Canva Create Work Redesign. So that would be my first tech news. Second on the docket, let's go a little AI. So got connected with this group here. This is the Learning Revolution is the name of the group, the website. And so as they say, the worldwide community and event hub exploring change in education for all of our dog walking friends. So it's teaching and learning with AI. So on Thursday, June 27th, 2024, noon to 3 p.m. U.S. Pacific time. All right, so Eastern time. So we're looking at 3 to 6. So, this is the tail end of, we're going to be at ISTE. So if you can't make ISTE and you're looking for something to do to get some different things. So this is the Learning Revolution mini conference. It is free to sign up. Teachingandlearning.ai is the website. Some information about it. What effects does AI technologies, tools, applications have? All right, a lot of really cool stuff there. So register here for free. So learningrevolution.com/teaching-and-learning-with-AI. All right, so check that out. All right, number 3, we've got Kahoot. Dom talked about Kahoot, mixed in with Edpuzzle, a lot of different other companies, but they have the Kahoot EDU Summit 2024. So registration's currently open, and it's being held on June 5th through 6th. So register for this free 2-day event to unlock secrets of Kahoot's all-in-one teaching toolkit. So they're going to be pulling in a little bit of AI as well. But again, so looking at that concept, and, it's funny that, Kahoot was the big man on campus for a long time. There's a lot of other things, talk about, Bookits, Gimkits, a lot of that. But you know what? There's a lot of really good stuff in Kahoot. So if you enjoy some Kahoot, that could be something that you definitely don't want to miss.
Yeah, and thing is, it's great. Like, I know you're a big advocate of, don't do the shotgun approach. But the nice thing with a lot of these tools, I pay for a bit of an upgrade on Kahoot. I have the district pay for a couple things. Some I pay out of my own pocket. But because you upgrade a little bit. And I remember Brandon and Scott saying years ago, like, they would pay for the stuff because their idea was free's great, but these companies are here to make money too. So if you support them a little bit, even if it's just a little bit, it gives them incentive to stay in business. So, upgrade a bit. You have these because kids like Bookit. Some kids like quizzes, some kids like Quizlet. But if you do the same thing over and over, they get burned out. So you can juggle the different tools. This unit we're going to do a Kahoot. Next unit we do a Bookit. Maybe we do a Quizlet Live. But you have them, and it adds a little bit of variety. So it's not always the same thing, even though it's fun for the kids. Outside of like pizza or ice cream, like you eat that all the time, eventually you're going to get sick. But not pizza and ice cream, but other things. Good
example.
Yeah, but it adds a variety, and the lessons stay. You could share lessons in all of them. You build up your own library. You have them. Pull it, make a copy, quick edit to not individualize it, but taper it to that specific unit. Because every year, even if you're teaching the same thing, questions are going to be different. The students are going to be different. Different questions pop up. Different topics, or things are presented differently, probably. So you can tailor to that class, in my case, World War II, 2024. Cold War this year versus last year. I changed some things up. Conversations went a different way. And, I have multiple versions and I could do different tools for different things. And it's just good for variety.
Yeah.
You have Jeopardy Labs. That's still around.
Yeah. Yeah. Because what is, why am I blanking on that one website where you can pull up the, Karen uses it all the time. Flippity? Yeah, I think it's flippity.net. Yeah, flippity.net. Still got some good tried and true stuff up there. When you said Jeopardy, it made me think of that. So
yeah.
And again, what I'm saying, like as Dom said, it's you can kill anything good by overusing it. Number one. Fact number one. Number two, you could be really great at a few things, or you could be okay at a lot of them. Try to specialize. Point three, pull all the cool stuff in, but keep it within the structure of your room. Don't just have a whole class period, a block 45, a double block of Kahoot, of Edpuzzle, of GimKit. That's a lot of eyes on the screen. That's a lot of sitting on their brains. Just too much of a good thing. You just want to make sure you're weaving it in, you're using it appropriately. We've all got the brain research. We all know what's good and what's not good for our students. So keep those cool things within that construct, within that framework. Again, because, even though I'm saying it, 2 weeks ago, we were doing something, we were kind of rolling with it. And boy, it's just, you kind of hit a point. I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, oh, dude, I didn't even realize we're like 25 minutes in and we're doing the same thing. Like, whew, like it was good. It's not good anymore. All right, hey, here we go. Quick brain break. Pull up whatever, have the kids gather their seat a little bit and then, real quick, monitor and adjust, the old word from back in college, monitor and adjust. So yeah, that's just kind of my thing there. Any closing thoughts with that there, Dom?
No. Good ideas. Very good ideas.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. So the PACT pod, we are the first and third Tuesday of every month. We're looking to bring in, we're going to be doing some AI interviews. We're going to be pulling in a cool feature coming up. I know Papa Verno. I was on a phone with him the other day, and so I'm going to be interviewing him with some other panel members because we did have a really cool email pop out about school boards. And my father had spent 17 years on my local school board when I was going through school. So I'm sure he'll share some interesting stories about that, on top of just some specific things about school boards, and going to have some different, representatives, superintendents, previous school board members, probably not too many current school board members. They may not want to necessarily be on the pod. We got that. We've got live at ISTE coming up in June.
Mm-hmm.
We're live at KTI in July. So we're going to be earning extra paychecks because we're going to be doing 3 shows some of those months. So
yes,
all that happening, all that coming to you. So a lot to look forward to. But Dom, where is it that they can find when the PACT pod's going to be playing?
Find it on PACT.org, calendar at the bottom of the screen. And
Yes, sir.
We have the calendar, first and third Tuesdays. Sometimes we get confused because this month, May, started on a Wednesday. Wednesdays and Tuesdays don't line up all the time. And it throws me off because it's like, well, wait a second, what's going on?
He's being too kind. Usually it's Dom's locked in and Verno's like, wait, what? What are you talking about? I've already been in 6 meetings this week. Really? We're going to be doing this too? It's not you, Dom. It's me. It's all good.
This show coming up, it goes to show you, we do take your ideas seriously. We had a viewer email in, gave us some, kind words, even if they're constructive criticism. We like that too. Always looking to improve.
Yep.
And they're like, hey, have you ever thought about doing this? And it was a great idea for a show. So we worked on putting it together. So we do take your ideas. We like your input. Please share your ideas with us.
Yeah, definitely reach out to us at pod@pht.org. And if you have an idea and you think you are a good person to kind of share that as well, let us know. We got a lot of trying to get a lot of PACT members, a lot of teachers, a lot of people that are involved in helping making things, run smoothly. And, if you're doing what's best for kids, we want to hear from you. So we'd love to have you on the show. All right. Well, Dom, I think we've kind of cranked through. I think we've kept it positive. We kept it light. I'm ready to thrive in May, not just survive. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. And it's, it's been this year has gone quicker than the last since COVID. I'll be very truthful. Like, that end of the year where, we got shut down, regardless of your opinion on it, that time it seemed to stand still, and it has been moving more slowly than usual the last few years, but this year just flew. We're not quite back to the way we were, but it went by not quite in the blink of an eye, but pretty close. And we're approaching warp speed again. So
you are not wrong with that, sir. All right.
But we will be wrapping this up pretty much soon here in the next couple of minutes. I know you're fiddling on something. I'm fiddling with something over here. Check us out on Spotify. We're also, we've tried to hit a bunch of platforms, iHeart Music, Amazon Music, Apple Music. We're all over the place. So regardless of your podcasting preference, I know Spotify, we have the video feed. For those of you that don't want to be distracted by our ruggedly handsome Hollywood looks, we also have an audio feed on Spotify. I'm not sure about Amazon and the other platforms if they're just audio only, but we are there. Check us out. Along with the Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. What am I missing?
Facebook,
YouTube.
LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. Yeah. And we're not on, we can be on Instagram, but we're, that's a little bit more work to get that set up. That'll be getting us, we'll work on getting that lined up solid over the summer. So we truly appreciate all of you who are watching live, all of you who are listening live, all of you who are listening while driving to work, coming home from work, walking the dog, walking the family, whatever the case may be.
Speaking of dogs, sad news today, my good buddy Tim from up in Cleveland, he lost his buddy Grizz, 14 years. They'd, been a team, and he lost them Sunday. So shout out to my buddy Tim. They get all teary-eyed here. Grizz was a good dog. Good dog.
14 years. Yeah, that's a full life, big time. So so shout out, and thoughts and prayers. With you and their family. So all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching and listening. And remember, as always,
PAECT.
We are
the voice of EdTech in Pennsylvania
and
beyond.
Thank you to our sponsors.
PAECT would like to thank all of our sponsors. Venture sponsor, EduSpire. Corporate council members, ClassLink, GoGuardian, ClearTouch, and our gold sponsors, Sam Labs, Howard Technology Solutions, and Teachers First. We at PAECT truly appreciate all of your support. Once again, thank you.